entertainment, learning growth. Here's the person with the volume of sound. This is tonight.
Hey, welcome everybody, you lovely Moonstompers out there. A very warm welcome back to this channel. I'm Mrs Moonstomper.
And I'm Mr Moonstomper, as if you couldn't guess, but I figured you already knew that. But if you're new here, welcome aboard. Welcome to the Moonstomper community, in fact.
Oh yes.
Isn't the channel doing well?
Isn't it doing well?
So we've clicked over 3,000 subs. Thank you so much, guys. That is absolutely amazing. That's way more than I could possibly imagine in my wildest dreams. I thought it'd take a couple of years to get there. However, absolutely brilliant. So, and the OGs, guys, couldn't do that.
I know.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We love you all, guys. So there you go.
Yes. All the love. It's so nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, coming up, Mr Moonstomper.
Yeah.
We announced the competition winners.
Yes, we will do. So what we're going to do with this, guys, right, we film these in advance, so we are actually going to do a cut scene, if that makes sense. But it will make sense when you watch the video back next week, but or on this episode, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're filming this in advance. So, Mrs Moonstomper.
Are you Mr?
What's been on your rotation this week?
I've been listening to a little bit of Hollies, like you said last week. The Hollies and Rolling Stones. A little mixture of 60s.
Wow, okay.
And some new Small Faces, sorry.
Some small faces. Yeah, I've been listening to that. Spencer Davis group as well.
Oh yeah.
Got a soft spot for those. The Hollies. Bit of Screwdriver as well.
Okay.
Yeah, bit of GBH, bit of everything actually this week.
Getting.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been a good week. What about you guys at home? What's been on your rotation this week? What have you been listening to?
Yes, let's hear it.
And what's your guilty secret, music-wise?
Do you have one?
Yeah, I said mine last week, did I not?
You did, yeah.
I certainly, and you said yours as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dionne Warwick and the Bee Gees have the intermingle, the sort of
absolutely.
They work together, and Bee Gees writes.
They've all got the same teeth anyway, so yeah, just saying. Right, so
yes.
Right, today's subject, so Mrs Moonstomper is right. So it's a bit more of the UK 82 scene, and it's the exploited.
Yes.
But you all knew that from the thumbnail anyway, and I kind of thought it rude not to do this band, but this band's got a habit of getting up everybody's noses. But you know, it wouldn't be punk if it didn't do that, would it?
That's it. How
really
true.
So
how very true.
And then I think what we'll have to do is, because it's a bit of a trilogy, isn't it? So we might have to do like the other one next time, Discharge, etc, etc. So Mrs Moonstomper, Mrs Moonstomper.
What?
Who are the Exploited?
Well, like you said, they're a punk band hailing from out of Bonnie, Scotland.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they were formed in 1978.
By Stevie, was it Stevie Ross and Terry Buchan?
Yes.
And then his brother, he was replaced by his brother.
Watty
Buchan. What can you even say about Watty Buchan? God, but
is he a character, is he?
He is, but yeah, I mean, wow, yeah. Yeah.
You're signing to Secret Records.
But not quite, not just yet.
Oh, right,
so I think they had their own record label first, and then the first LP was it. They did an EP first of all, which was Army Life, and then they did their debut LP, which is an absolute belter. Punk's Not Dead. Both released in 1981. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, but like they've had a massive hardcore following. In fact, they are hardcore, but they've had like a big, it's a big cult following. Through through skinhead and punk, if that makes sense. So it's very working class punk and skinhead audience.
Oh yes.
But also known as street punk.
Street punk, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
that sort of.
So it kind of all fits in with the oi scene and stuff, doesn't it? You know, which was like very, very second generation punk after watching the Sex Pistols, and that's where they actually got their
influence from, didn't they?
Yeah, another band
it's like a few other Sex Pistols,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they evolved later. That later on they evolved into like a thrash band.
They did that crossover.
But I think that was in the mid to late 80s, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, 87, 1987.
There you go, Mrs Moonstomper knows. Yeah.
Man.
Now, in terms of records, they kind of stopped making studio records, if that makes sense. But I think, was it their last studio LP? Was it Fuck the System? Excuse my French. Not that that's French at all, but yeah. And I think that was in 2003.
2003, yes.
2003. But their songs have been covered by none other than one of my other favourite bands, Slayer.
Okay. Mighty Slayer, yes.
But
wow.
Through all that, Watty has been the original sort of like singer and leader.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And they've remained true to the roots as well.
Yeah.
Such as, same as GBH, they've just remained, well, sort of true to the roots, apart from going to like sort of crossover thrash.
Alright. Yes.
They've never sort of ditched what they started out with. If that makes sense. It does, well, it does to me anyway. Yeah.
What do you think, Moonstomper?
Yeah.
What do you think?
But like GBH, like other punk bands, it's just what I'd say, it's a straightforward, stripped down, no frills sort of band, yeah, just almost like a punch in the face.
Oh dear.
That's the sort of music you listen to and it makes you want to kick your grandmother down the stairs. Not that I'm condoning that, guys, and not that I've ever done that. Yeah, but and they founded their own record label as well, didn't they? So they started off on, was it Exploited Records? And that's where they released the EP Army Life, which got to. I think that went into the indie charts, and I think it was in the top 10 of the indie charts. That's what I remember.
Okay.
And it remained there for maybe a couple of months, and then I think but now this is the bit. This is the sort of like kicker, and this is the bit where they start getting up people's noses, because on the B side of that was two songs. Crashed Out and Fuck the Mods. Wow. Which I think is, that if any need for that really. But that's what
that's what they felt at the time they needed to do.
Yeah. And then I
put
think,
it out there.
and I think, don't quote me on this, it had something on the back cover or something was it all Scottish punks or Edinburgh punks?
Yeah.
And Skins, keep on mod bashing. Guys, if you're a mod, I'm so sorry, because I do like mod.
Yeah.
In fact, I love mod.
I think they're cool people.
Yeah. And then I think they did a follow-up single, which was
Barmy Army.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that got into the indie charts, and I think it stayed there for about a year or something like that.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, getting to number
14.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought it got to number 4 myself.
Was it 4? Oh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I knew there was a 4 somewhere.
Yeah. And then the follow-up single to that was Dead Cities. And that was actually in the UK mainstream charts.
Okay, yes.
And that's the opening video that you saw, obviously, guys, Dead City. Yeah.
It peaked at number 31.
Yeah, and then they had Exploited Barmy Army. And that got to
number 4 again.
It certainly did.
Number
4.
So
you mentioned Secret Records earlier, Mrs Moonstomper.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Now, Secret Records, right? The band actually signed to those in 1981.
81, okay.
And I think it was March of 81, and that's where they recorded the LP Punk's Not Dead.
Alright.
And
spent a month
recording this, yeah.
Yes.
And then they, off the back of that, they released, was it?
Punk's Not Dead.
No, that was the LP, I've just said that. Yeah. It was Dogs of War.
Yes.
Dogs of War.
Sorry, Moonstompers.
Yeah.
Brains all over the place. Yes, Dogs of War. Yes.
Yeah, Dogs of War. And then
it reached number 2 as well.
I know it went into the independent charts,
Yes, it
but
did, yes.
most bands did. Then they got like a live LP. That was also in 81 as well.
Yes,
so
it was.
recording wise, they were really busy.
Okay.
But I think they recorded that live LP. I'm going to say I think it was Edinburgh as well. But
Yes, it was. Yes.
at the time they recorded that, they were on tour
With Discharge.
and the Anti-Nowhere League.
Okay.
And then Anti-Pasty.
Anti-pasty.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
fair enough.
Also, don't forget Crongen as well.
Whether with those as well, I don't know.
Yes,
Okay, fair
yes,
enough.
there was,
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Mrs Moonstomper knows I don't know everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the Apocalypse tour. This was.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yes,
well, there you go. Did you actually go to that tour?
I was there. Not
No,
really.
There you go. No, me neither.
No.
Yeah. And,
Yes.
Right. So there was a thing. Right. So Dead Cities. Right. When that got to top of the pops, that upset the fans.
Oh.
And well, they were accused of selling out.
Oh, I see.
So look, I don't know why. That's always been a bit of a deal. So if you're old enough to remember. Top of the Pops in the United Kingdom,
Yes.
which was like a pop show through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and I think it dispersed in the early 2000s.
Late 90s.
No, it was the early 2000s
Yeah,
when it dispersed.
Yes.
That was like the pinnacle of your career if you could get to the top of the Pops.
That's
but
it, you're somebody.
rock bands traditionally were accused of selling out.
Okay.
So much so when they went on there was a hardcore band called Conflict.
All right.
And I can't. The song was what was that?
It's called Exploitation.
Was that what it was? The Exploitation. So they did that, and that was a piss
Yes.
take of the Exploited. But it obviously divided the fans. Yeah.
Flipping heck.
So there's a weird fact for you as well.
Okay.
So right, their track UK '82, which is an absolute belter of a track, that was used for Made in Britain.
Oh, the film, that skinhead film.
Yeah, featuring Tim Roth as a skinhead as a
Oh,
way of
Trevor,
skinhead. Yeah,
yes.
Trevor. If you haven't seen Made in Britain, go and watch that film. It's an amazing
Check it
film,
out.
but it's funny as
Yeah,
well.
we've seen it a few times.
I think it's really
Me
funny.
too.
It's absolutely brilliant, and it epitomises England.
At the time.
At the time, yeah, in a nutshell.
That kid, you just can't. There's no getting through to him. Is the main character, the Tim Roth character?
But if you got through to him, it wouldn't be Trevor, would it?
I know.
It wouldn't, it wouldn't be. But they just had to. They had to do him as a
dear.
skinhead,
Yes.
which I thought was a bit. Yeah, it was a bit of a bad rap, but at the same time, still good.
Yes.
So go check it out, guys.
It's Boston.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite films. That's for sure.
Yes.
In terms of skinheads. So there you go.
Check it out, Moonstomper.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Only if you want to.
Definitely. But when you hear that sound as well, so again with the Exploited and with GBH and bands like Discharge, you've got almost like a Motorhead flavour to it. So hardcore speed, thrashy.
Thrashy, yeah.
But you can also hear where the early thrash bands, like such as the big four, like your Metallicas, your Megadeth, your Slayers, and your Anthraxes, and Venom and bands like that, where they actually got that from.
Of course.
Especially Venom being sort of like black metal, that sort of, that real sort of hardcore sort of.
Like a punch in the face.
Yeah, definitely. But none the worse for it. So what I would say is check that band out. If you've not heard anything by the band, it might not be your bag, but I think with music, it's always got its place.
Oh yes.
So it's not the sort of music you play before going to sleep.
I wouldn't have thought so.
For me, that's the music I play when I'm either really happy or I've had a shit day at work.
It's like mood music, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. It's but it's again, it's just I think it's brilliant.
Yes.
I think it's brilliant. But some people might not like it.
That's it.
But horses for
You
courses.
can't please everybody.
No, you can't. So, Mrs Moonstomper.
Oh.
Because I keep on doing that to
Yes,
myself.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop it.
Shall we take a break?
Let's
Take a break. So when we come back from the break, I think what we should do is obviously continue the video. Then,
Of course.
we'll cut the scene in where we're gonna announce the competition winners.
Woo!
And 4 lucky people,
Gosh.
because there's 4 prizes, is there not?
There is, yes.
So just remind me, it was a jacket for the top prize.
Yes. The jacket, the t-shirt, cushion covers, and the fleecy throw wrap thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Blanket, fleece, yes.
So somebody's either going to be well happy or disappointed, depending on what your sort of outlook is. But we're not made of money,
No.
and they're
And we
free.
always say we do it for the love.
Oh, we do indeed, we do. So have a look at this, and we'll see you in a moment, guys.
Back in a few.
Back in a few.
Boss, it was a van. It was a van with a fucking trailer.
Right.
Right, and they tried to sit in the. They came in and we had a couple of fights, and they tried to smash the van up.
Yep.
Right, and then it was snowing, so it's fucking freezing.
Yeah.
And I like some of the plastic sheets for windows, and they tried to tip the van over, but they couldn't manage it.
Yeah.
And there was some one of us was some skinhead band, and they were banned to playing. So I talked to the guys and said, I asked the promoter, I went, well, give the guys a chance, let them play. Right, so I said, well, they can play, but the guy was meant to be banned. And then when they played, they had a wee American flag with a backdrop.
Right.
So we said, like, can you take it down?
Yeah.
Because you've played and we were playing next. And they went fucking mental. We started fighting.
The skins all went mental until you took the American flag down.
Aye, fucking, it was like a tiny one, fucking.
Uh-huh.
Aye, then I sprained my ankle and we were fighting. On that tour we done 48 shows. And I had 26 fights with skinheads,
Yeah.
I never lost one,
Yeah.
That's a true reading!
Yep.
That's a true reading, by the way!
That's the real story.
Aye, I read there, aye.
Because if you and that's for you to keep. If you read the story in
Right.
there, you'll see how everybody's telling lies about
I know.
how they beat you up and
Hey,
how
I
you
never-
are free.
Aye, I never lost one.
Never.
I never lost one fight. I'm not hard. I'm not hard.
Yeah.
I'm not hard whatsoever. But I never lost one fight. I had 26 fights on that tour of skinheads.
On that tour alone.
48 gigs.
Jesus Christ.
I never lost one.
Never lost one.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that beautiful face. Of course he didn't.
Hey,
lose.
you don't look like you ever lost.
Didn't
a
even
I
fight.
lost a
take
few,
it.
aye.
You're
I lost
too
a-
handsome.
No. Oh, you like that, aye. I lost a few fights, I tell you. But I'm not hard. We never went looking for fights.
Nah.
It was just like
It was the time.
At
And
the
it was,
time, and we got like the song "Fuck You," says it's not against the people. It's an anti-government song.
a lot of people didn't get that.
No, it's like we've got songs like Maggie UK too. But most of our songs are anti-UK government.
Right.
The only difference is it's not "fuck the UK" in it.
Right.
That's the only difference. But
The skins that night.
what?
Maybe
The
the next
next
album. The skins that night took it very personally.
Whatever it
Good.
comes out.
About
Really
fuck
personal.
USA.
I was talking last night. I went last night to see to go and check some of the bands. There was all these bands like from Allentown, Trinity, New Jersey. That's when all these places are going. Remember this.
Well, Allentown's another one because
Allentown was like fucking everybody there was Zeke Helen.
yeah, and they missed
Everybody.
two guys.
Nah, but didn't hurt it.
They always do.
I was on the train days like they hurt it.
Yeah.
Fucking
Mixing this was it?
what? Speak bass right? No, that was in Philly though. That was just normal for us. We didn't get.
I will tell you though, everybody to a man, when they're talking about this story, every person we interviewed said one thing in common. They had never seen a band, mostly you, take as much shit as you did, with the people spitting at you and throwing shit at you. And they also never saw anybody stand up and just like not care and put on a great show.
We did care, but the point was it's like we nobody get into them because like it wasn't a matter of like salsa, it was a matter of like we don't get into them because like this is like I couldn't understand what the point of view, but the point of view is fucking stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very much.
So I don't think you were just taking loads of crystal meth.
I was saying loads of just away, fan. So I didn't get a fuck. Come on down. No, but it was it's like well the skinheads that used to fucking. I used to think if they got over that bar, I would be fucking dead. But I just like blow kisses, go. and blow kisses to them, and go that. Buy a t-shirt and fuck off. Because that made them madder. But I thought, well, what's the point if you show a sign of weakness, then they're just going to fucking pick on you. So you stood up to way. So no, but no, it's like I say, I'm I'm not a hard man, I'm not a hard guy like that, but I'm not never when I take shit off people. I mean, I'm not, but I always stand up for myself.
Always.
And now back in the day, I used to take loads of drugs. Well, fucking like 2 minutes.
You? No.
No, but
I don't believe that for a second.
I can only admit it that way. I never used to have a problem. I had a problem. I couldn't get drugs now.
Exactly.
But I used to be fucking totally like fucking spastic.
You were ready to go.
But I was really. But at the time I thought I was normal, but it's not normal. But at the time I thought I was doing my face every night, drinking peppermint snaps, 100 proof snaps, and taking just for F and that. So every night was just like it's just a blur, all this.
Sure.
But I remember when we played Trent and Allentown and the Ritz. They were the most violent gigs. The Ritz was the most violent gig we ever done.
Nice.
It's the only gig that I've done ever that I felt a bit scared.
Really?
Because there was like fucking hundreds. You skinheads, a big cunt, the gig was going massive,
Yeah.
and there was like over 300. And it's the only gig I felt a bit scared. Thought if they go over that barrier, I'm going to be fucking get my cunt kicked in here. But I just like keep blowing kisses, even. Hey, just laughing, hey, whatever, shag your sister.
Well, I gotta tell you, for this club and for our book, that night, that story is probably the biggest story in the book, and people went fucking nuts over it. So, basically, thank you just for playing that night and giving us a great story.
But I remember like playing these gigs, and it's like at the time I thought I don't know any other bands that put up with that. There's no other bands that just crumble.
Yeah.
And they're totally just like fucking no playing. We played Allentown, I thought. Played Allentown the second time, everybody was in St. Helen. Yeah. Everybody, not just the skinheads, but everybody.
Everybody, that's Allentown.
Right, and I thought, fucking, I'll be fucking we're gonna have a right one here.
Yeah.
I just went on stage and just like fucking just sung, played and I just faced up to them and everybody just like just stared like that. It's like fucking didn't know what to make it, didn't know what to come down or anything.
Well, Biohazard did a Black Road with it at the time. We played in 91 Allentown. The guy just stood at the front of the stage and just took the abuse of the whole crowd.
Allentown is no joke. Like
I know that. Hey, we know we've been there. We've been there. That's why it took 10 years to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
That was it.
Oh, it's the worst. I went there once. I will never went to a show. Went back.
I went to Oyster's there.
Too late thing.
Yeah.
We went there like 3 times, and the first time was like just did that. So atmosphere was totally like you just feel atmosphere was totally like fucking
Hostile.
Aye.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Like, really hostile. Like, just we're going to kick shit. For fucking.
City Gardens wasn't that bad, but that era, that 1987, 88,
It was really violent era.
Yeah.
It's the most violent times we've done all these gigs for 25 years.
Yeah.
And they were the most violent. The most violent, like Allentown, Trenton and the Ritz was the best. Because you used to have all the hardcore bands and us at front, the Cro-Mags, and all
Memphis was great,
Memphis.
Aye. Got attacked by the whole bar.
Really?
Nice.
No, but aye.
The whole bar attacked.
No, that was in Tennessee, was it?
Yeah, Memphis.
Memphis,
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Yeah.
They were chasing what happened?
Memphis?
I've done a gig in this. We were playing the UK subs, and we got told they were going last. That fucking.
It's not even a sound check.
It's a sound check in, and
He broke one of the microphones a sound check, and Deptford John used to play bass for us, but before that he was playing the UK subs. And he lent us his bass for the sound check, and Wally smashed one of the mics, and the sound guy looked like somebody with fat fed his cat or something. So he came up and was like, oh, you took the bass, and he goes, you're not getting the bass back till you pay for the microphone.
Wow.
And Deptford John, he was in the UK subs, so like, that's my fucking bass guitar, man.
Yeah.
He was like, give me it back, and the guy was like, oh, he went to shake his hand, and Deptford just went like, stuck the head and broke the guy's
Why are
nose.
you always
man.
causing so much
And
trouble?
after that, it was just like,
What is it with you?
and the whole place just attacked us, man.
no, after that, when the UK subs were on, I was talking to some girl, and this guy's hey, you Brits, you Brits suck, you English suck. I went, I'm not English, I'm Scottish. Fucking, it's got blah blah blah. So I went, so 5's my lucky number, and I told him like the 5th time I told him to fuck off, I went, just fuck off. And he wouldn't fuck off, so I broke his nose. And then so we started. This girl started screaming, so we started to leave. And then as we left, got in the van. All these people came out the bar, fucking trying to throw bottles in the van. So I was at my face head, so I got grab a baseball bat and I just put Chaz into the club like a stupid cunt. And it was like a James Bond movie. It was like all you could see was bottles and fucking things going flying past my head. I had this baseball bat. I was fuck fucking every cunt. And some guy was a Marine, he was a Marine, he was on here. This wee guy, some guy was on top of him. So I got the bus, but I fucking smacked over his head. And all you see was like fucking blood, just blood everywhere, eh?
A bucket of blood in his
Right.
throat,
So I went to pick him up. I went to pick him up. I went to pick him up. I dropped the bat, and then somebody hit me with a big shovel, a big spade.
Yeah.
I got a chair, and then they started kicking fuck at me. I got dragged out the bar, and they kicking fuck at me. Then we got fined. We got fined $500. We only got paid $500.
Amazing.
And that was an tour, in fact. That's funny, but we went to at court about 2:30 in the morning, and we went in there. There was like these black guys there, and they're all like, and the guy I batted with the baseball bat, he was about this big. But his head was about that big, eh? Big turban thing. And so we were in there. We were all covered in blood and stuff, and the judge were listening to this other case. There was these black guys there. The black guys were laughing. What the fuck are you laughing at that? And like the black guys, they were up. They raped some girl. They set up some girl to get raped, some young kid. And then the judge said to them, okay, you look at like bail. He goes, we keep it good, and they all start going, we're going to laugh and they're like, you fucking cunts.
Yeah. What are you laughing at now, motherfucker?
Exactly. You've been remanded. Too serious a charge. You've been remanded. We got fined $500.
Yeah.
And the guys were happy because that's what we paid.
There you go. It works out.
That was that same tour. Eh?
That is for you.
Thanks, man.
And
I seen the thing we were sitting doing in a bar and reading.
Yeah.
And I thought, you couldn't understand them all, cheeky bastards.
That's the best thing I ever heard.
Yeah, but it's true, but
When you have some time, when you have some downtime to read, go in and check out the story. It's
right.
January of '88. It leads off whatever chapter it is. So you read it and you decide if people remember correctly.
I was seeing what you were when they were talking. There's one back time. What was it? One back saying, that's not right. I think that's not right.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Aye, that's their version.
That was the Uprise.
That's
was
right.
the band.
Right.
Yeah.
You played Trenton again after that.
I played
Yeah, you played a couple of times.
Aye.
Yeah.
You got attacked.
I got attacked with a couple.
Lift.
Right?
When you came at the lift, and the skinhead was with him, I fuck the USA one, and said, wait.
Can't remember that one.
And Mikey chasing across the park.
No, that was in Stone Pony.
Ah, in Trenton.
Is that Stone Pony?
Stone Ponies in Asbury.
Asbury.
Yeah.
That's we started fighting the skinheads in the hotel.
Nice.
That's
And then one of you guys.
Yeah, that.
The hotel was cool,
yeah,
man.
same
Everybody
place.
just fucking trashed it.
I don't know, all the skinheads like go there. I know these Chicago skins pick on all the kids.
Yeah.
They've got would one get, but there was a couple of young kids, 17. There's this big skinhead guy who's going, they had love and hate, and he's got to this young kid. He goes, well, you've been slagging dissing the Chicago skins. He goes, you got love and hate. Which ones do you want? And our bass player's dead now. Our bass player saying, well, he goes, I'll have hate because I fucking hate these cunts. And the guy told you shit yourself, eh?
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Nice.
Totally then.
And that's Waddy telling about City Gardens. Thank you.
The true story.
Welcome back, everyone. What did you think of that?
Hope you enjoyed that.
Hope you enjoyed
I could
it.
barely understand him, but the bloke's got a point. Now, I've come to a conclusion with Watty, right? And that bloke could start an argument in an empty room.
I've heard he's a character.
He's a cat, but
A bit of a one.
in all fairness, with everything he says, he has got a point. But I think with some people, he is a really, really, really misunderstood character.
Oh dear.
That's what I think. You guys might think differently. You guys might not even like him, but with his views, which originally he claimed to be apolitical,
All right.
so he kind of gets up people's noses.
Because people let him.
But yeah, exactly that. But it's your choice. Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the fans of the Exploited nicknamed the Barmy Armies.
Yes, there were indeed.
Yeah.
Right, so I think where that stems from is the sort of that they used to clash with the pardon the phrase. It was the rivalry between the Exploited and Conflict.
Okay.
And there were right, so that the fans of Conflict were known as the Conflict Crew.
Yeah.
Guys take it so seriously. In addition to the antisocial behaviour of the band and some of the fans, the Exploited would often cancel gigs. Very, very short notice. Especially in the 80s. There was another band who used to do that as well, and I can't remember which band it was. But what that led to was lots of venues saying, do you know what, we can't work with you guys because if you're going to book it, then cancel it. Then obviously,
that's not good.
Well, no, because the venue's out of pocket as well.
Oh man, yeah.
So that kind of, I don't know if that undid them. Does that
probably maybe
a little bit, but. Also, what undid them as well was that old bloody chestnut again, the Southall riot, where it was where Oi bands in general became associated with racism. Now, Watty has got he's got a swastika tattooed on his arm, and that with I think coupled with a couple of other incidents where he was, I think he fought a group of Asians in a calf, and then I think when in '85 Deptford John joined from Combat 84, he joined the band, and then everybody labelled them racist. That couldn't be further from the truth.
No.
That could not be further from the truth. And you only look at Reddit. I looked at Reddit the other day, and the amount of people who said, oh, he's got a swastika on his arm, he's a racist. Well, do you know what? Lemmy had a room full of swastikas.
Oh yes. We saw that documentary.
German memorabilia. It doesn't
his iron Maltese crosses.
It's an iron cross. It's not a Maltese cross. It's but it's an iron cross. But it doesn't mean he's a racist. It just means he likes that memorabilia.
Ain't necessarily
that was popularised by Malcolm McLaren in the 70s. Sort of the swastika, but. That was in an attempt to get up people's noses. So it was two fingers up to the authorities, and they didn't realise at that point in time the ramifications of what they were actually doing.
That's it. I think they're confused. Some people get confused.
They do indeed, but then there's sort of other incidents as well where I think there was like a bit of a riot after a show in the Rainbow in Finsbury Park, if I remember rightly, and I think it's where the Jam were playing nearby. The Jam, incidentally, they're an awesome band. I love the Jam, I really do. And then Watty incited the fans to attack the mods.
Pick on the mods.
And then I think then when he was in Argentina, he stood up like brave move, and he went to the Falklands belongs to Britain. I'm like, oh my god, fair enough.
It's true what you said. He had a bit of an attitude, didn't he, and a bit of a gob.
Yeah, he did. But I think there was an author called George Syme who wrote about the sort of, was it George Syme or someone who wrote about the fighting after the events at Finsbury Park?
Yes, it was George Syme.
And then was it called Backward Moddy Boy or something?
Backward Moddy Boy, yes.
Oh, I can't remember. And that was it's vague. It's very, very, very vague. But then Jem Howard states, Jem Howard, he was the band's former manager.
Oh yeah.
He used to say, he said like he'd had to sneak them out of hotels because they'd like sort of vandalise the room and then steal everything. But how rock and roll was that?
I know, it was proper rock and roll, isn't it?
Well, Led Zeppelin used to do that. They wouldn't just smash hotel rooms. They would just like be absolutely
chuck TVs out of the windows.
Oh God, yeah.
Wreck the joint.
Yeah, I can't remember which hotel it was. I think it was somewhere in California.
Okay.
There was a hotel where they could fish off the hotel balcony.
Okay.
And they cast the rods and literally they filled the whole bath full of fish.
For goodness sake.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor fish.
But they got up people's noses. But especially with singles like. Was it singles like Fuck USA? Oh my god. As Watty explains in an interview, like, because when you see that, you look at that and you go, Jesus Christ, that is really inflammatory.
Oh god.
And if I lived in the USA, if I was a USA citizen, I'd go, well, what are you actually talking about?
How very bloody dare.
Yeah, exactly, I would do. But what he's having a dig at there is it's the authorities.
Yes.
And he just came out with that, but he's yet to write one about fuck Great Britain, obviously. Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and then fuck mods and stuff like that. Yeah, but they always claimed to be. They always claimed to be apolitical.
Yes.
But they always did that. But then
They did an about turn.
I don't think it was. I don't know. The thing is, politics just drops in, doesn't it?
To the habit of doing that.
It drops in, and I think it was like the late 80s. It got all political, and that for me, it's just like.
It's a no.
Well, no, I mean, just no.
That's it.
Just no. I'm not.
No.
I'm not listening to your politics. I'm not swallowing your
Keep it
politics.
over there.
Then, in the next breath, he sits there and he says he hates all politicians. Well, so do I.
Make your mind up,
But
man.
I wouldn't sit there and make something about
No.
politics. No,
No.
not at all.
Not for me.
No.
Not for you.
But then he suffered a heart attack on stage in.
It's 2014.
Was it in Lisbon, in Portugal, I think, or
Yes,
something?
yes, it
yeah.
was.
I think it was during like the band's tour, the Taste of Chaos
Taste of Chaos tour, yes.
He was on. I think he was on tour with Hatebreed and the wonderful Birmingham band Napalm Death.
Napalm Death.
Yeah.
What do you like the smell of in the morning?
Love the smell of napalm. Yeah.
Boom boom.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think he had, was it like a quadruple bypass in the end or something, then
Flipping
stents fitted, etc, etc.
Wow.
But the band then confirmed they were going to like sort of go back to recording. Yeah.
Wow, gosh.
But they,
Yes.
didn't they sign up to Nuclear Blast Records as
Yes,
well?
they did, yes.
And then they,
Yes.
I think Nuclear Blast re-released their records.
They did.
I think. Yeah, they
It
did.
was of that year,
I-
2014.
I don't.
wasn't it?
I don't know what year it was actually.
Yes.
I just vaguely remember them sort of doing that. But you know, never want to be outdone, and always vocal. Then I think when COVID kicked off as well,
Yeah.
the upshot with that was bands were forced to cancel gigs,
That's it.
left, right, and centre.
Most people suffer with the coronavirus.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever your opinion is of that, lots of people have got different opinions. You know, it was what it was. You know,
Yes.
and I'm not going to get into that actually.
Oh, no.
But he had a dig at Green Day then.
Okay.
Where he didn't he? What was the? Didn't he turn around and go fuck coronavirus or something?
Yes.
I've had like 5 heart attacks, a quadruple heart bypass,
Bragging
and
about heart attacks.
and a pacemaker fitted. Cancel gigs for a virus, and then he turned round. The cutty bit was, we ain't fucking Green Day, we ain't Green Day piss,
God.
with the real deal.
Oh no.
Yeah, no danger you cancelling our gigs. Then he went and cancelled his gigs in Australia through coronavirus. Well, yeah, okay, fair
See what
enough.
happens when you
But-
go off.
I don't know. I mean, what I'll say is, I like Green Day.
I think they're cool.
I like them.
Yeah, I know you listen. You've got the album.
I've got a couple
Couple
three
albums. Yes.
yes. Well, I mean, yeah. Is it right to have a go at him? I don't know. You know, but he doesn't like him anyway.
If he doesn't like them,
Well, no,
can't
it's
stop somebody saying something about
that's sort of
someone.
3rd generation punk, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is,
It's
yes.
really, you know, it's like, you know, sort of, you know, the UK 82 sort of bit. That's 2nd generation.
Yes.
Harder and faster than the original. But even then, I wouldn't say that was 2nd generation. I would actually say that's 3rd generation.
Oh, right,
'Cause
okay.
the original punk, don't forget, you know, it's the United States of America. It's those guys.
That's it, that's where it started.
Yeah, of course it did. You know, right back from these sort of like shock rock and stuff like that from the late 60s, and then
yes.
going onwards and upwards. Then, you know, okay, different to the UK. But when it came to the UK, I'd say it was 2nd generation punk.
I should say, you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, I would agree with you there.
Some of you guys may disagree, but you know, then again, it's an opinion, so
That's
it
it.
doesn't mean I'm correct. doesn't mean-
Opinions differ.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think I don't know. I'm not into that attacking other artists. So,
No.
you know, we're all.
It wouldn't be fair.
No, we're all in
I
it
don't
together.
think it's fair.
Yeah. So, what we should do now, I think, big drum roll. What we're going to do is we're going to cut here, and you're going to see a little VT where we pick the competition winners. Again, the reason we're doing that is because when we filmed the last video, the competition winners, the competition wasn't announced, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So what we've got to do, because we filmed them in advance. No, they were announced, but you wouldn't have seen it yet.
Oh, right.
So
until gotten out.
No, that'll only be released on Sunday the 18th. So we're actually filming this on Saturday the 17th.
Yes.
Ready for Sunday the 25th.
That's it, yeah.
So if that makes sense. So we'll cut here, and then we'll be back in a moment.
Oh yes. Snip, snip. So everybody, we're cutting in here. Here's the prize draw.
Here is the prize draw, but just before we do that, so
what you got there, Mr Moonstomper?
So these are sew-on badges.
Look at the size of that.
That's what she said, and these are from a company called. Right, so we're not affiliated, we're not sponsored, there's nothing like that, but these are absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And it's Custom Embroidery 23 in Cardiff, and they're on eBay.
Big up to you.
So if you want one of these, they've got our design, just reach out to those guys, we'll put a link on the screen. Reach out to these guys, they're absolutely fabulous, so just thought we'd say that.
Yeah.
We don't get paid for saying that, we have to pay for those, but they're amazing all the same. So, without further ado, we have to have 2 iPads for this.
Okay.
Because it's a bit right. So, this one. Okay. So what we've done is we've done it's like a wheel of. So we've got a wheel of.
Like a spinny wheel.
That's a spinny wheel of prizes. Yeah. So you hold that, Mrs Moonstomper.
Okay.
I might have to fingerprint that again, and we've got a spinny wheel of names. Now there weren't, for some reason, not that many people. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people out of 3,000. Guys, come on, it's free prizes. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it completely randomly. I'm going to spin and pick a name. I'll show you the name on the screen, and then you spin to see what prize that person gets. So here goes the first one. Let's spin to win.
Spin that wheel.
Okay. So
can you see
lucky.
That?
So lucky.
Oh.
Right. Okay. Spin the prize. Okay. So hold it up to the camera, Mrs Moonstomper.
Okay.
Pillowcases.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so I'm just going to remove.
Yeah.
Okay, so press remove off there. Okay, so let's spin again.
Spin that wheel.
Roger Wilson.
What does Roger want? What's Roger gonna win?
Roger, you've won a lovely fleecy throw.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice one, Roger.
Here's the next one. That's Devo 87.
So what we got for your Devo 87? What we got? What do we got?
Devo, do I know that name from somewhere? Okay, so what's it to be? Is it a t-shirt?
Oh.
Okay, right. So remove the t-shirt, Mrs Moonstomper.
Okay.
Not your t-shirt, please. Right. Oh dear. Oh, right. It's that kind of a nice. Right. So all that's left up for grabs is you don't really have to say it. It's the jacket. So we're not going to spin that one because that should be ridiculous. But here we go. Let's get ready. Let's see who wins the jacket.
Jacket.
The jacket is Scotty.
Oh.
So
nice one,
well done, Scotty. You've won a jacket.
Scotty, man, wow, get ya.
Okay, so yeah, guys, that is the prize draw. Right, if you weren't successful this time, we do apologise. We will have more prizes up and coming in the future. And like I say, reach out to these guys if you wanted. So it's we're not making anything off these.
No, we're not.
But who cares? And we're not about making money. But if you wanted one of these, it's a sew-on back patch. I've got one on the back of my MA1. I think it looks really smart.
It does.
Yeah, and they're really well made. They'll make them in any size from sort of 3" up to 12".
Okay.
So there you go.
Nice one, but
So that concludes the prize draw, ladies and gentlemen.
Well
Thank
done,
you so much
everybody.
indeed if you entered.
Well done.
Okay, back to the video.
Okay. So, Mr Moonstomper, do we have anything else to say on this subject?
No, not really. Massive congratulations to the competition winners. Guys, we're going to have more competitions in the future. Like I say, it's completely random. Picked at complete potluck. We don't know who's who. Like we say, we'll get an email off to the guys who won.
That's it.
Ask you for your postal address and we'll send the stuff out to you as soon as we possibly can. Please bear with us because we're a little bit behind, unfortunately. Things are hectic at the moment. So it's festival season, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, it is festival season.
season.
So Skinhead Reunion coming up in the United Kingdom in Brighton. There's been loads of scooter rallies already. Scarborough, Skeggy, Western, Stoke,
so much to choose.
yeah, etc, etc. So if you're going to any rallies or any festivals, then drop down in the comments. Let us know what you're going
Let
to.
us know. And everyone's ever nosy what you've been up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Not because we're nosy, but we are nosy, if that makes sense. So is everybody else. But and don't forget, guys, what has been on your rotation this week? What have you been listening to? We love to know what you guys listen to, and if there's anything you want us to do, bands wise,
that's it.
or genre wise, then get down in the comments. We've got a list as long as honestly the list is really long at the moment, isn't it? But we're going to get round to it, and there's lots and lots of great content coming up.
Defo.
Some amazing content. So Mrs Moonstomper,
yes.
what have you got coming up next week?
Oh, you did say, didn't you?
Well, I think really it'd be rude not to do discharge. Really,
that's it.
It'd be completely rude not to do them.
Discharge.
Because it's UK 82 again.
Yes.
But if you don't like UK 82, then we kind of get it. But lot selector. Not many people watch selector. That's fair enough. I completely get that. Completely get that as well.
Let's put it out there to you and see.
Yeah, exactly.
See what
So,
you think.
some of you really enjoyed it. We had some good comments. We had some. But not everyone's going to like the same thing, are they? Hopefully not.
We get quite a few that do. We get a mixture. It's a mixture.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a mixture, I should say.
So, and if you want other genres as well, so I mean, there's like your reggae and stuff like that, and then there's other bits and bobs. But we've got some.
Just so many.
Yeah, and then RAC stuff as well. So, like we say, we've got to tread really, really carefully with that because there are that many people who complain about hurty words. They really do, or things that they perceive as hurty words. But there you go. That's social media for you, unfortunately.
Yes.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna engineer something that kind of fits the narrative, and we'll get it as near to the knuckle as we can.
Oh yes.
While sitting on the fence like we always do. Just saying. So
yes.
On that bombshell, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but have you got anything else, Mrs Moonstomper?
No.
Thank God for that.
Phew.
Yeah, okay. And neither have I don't think. So, guys, we'll love you and leave you until the next time. I've been Mr Moonstomper and I love you all.
I've been Mrs Moonstomper. Love you lots. See you next time. Bye.
Oh, beat the bastards.